As usual, the microphone is off. Hi, everybody. How is everybody doing? Welcome to our channel.
Hi.
Hi. I got a little delay a while ago. I was trying to watch it on YouTube, and apparently it's not being broadcast at the same time, so it threw me off a little bit. As usual, the microphone is off. Hi, everybody. How is everybody doing?
Yeah, there's a couple seconds delay between.
All right, good. So I had to pause my YouTube a while ago, so let's hope it's still up and running. So everybody good and hearty, everybody all right? Welcome. Good to see all of you. And welcome to those of you who are joining us. My name is Rolando Smith. I am the playwright or the writer of the play, The Breaking Point, and I have with me a dynamic set of young people who are just superbly talented out of this world. God has blessed them with some serious talents in terms of acting and singing and the performing arts, and we're going to have a little chit chat with them tonight. We're not going to be staying very long, but we just want to talk to them to find out how they feel about the play, how they feel about the characters that they're going to be taking on, that sort of a thing. So welcome, guys. Welcome, everybody. All right.
Well, not all right, but hold
But
on.
for the most part,
For, for the most part.
we talk off the air, my brother. All right. So I'm just gonna ask each person to just introduce themselves to the audience. I'm gonna start with my what's this? My right. So I'm seeing Lisa Gay Let's Perrier. So I'm gonna ask you to introduce yourself and just tell us the character that you're gonna play and just hold it there for now. Oh, the church that you attend as well, and then we go deeper in the conversation afterwards. Okay? So over to you, ma'am.
All right. Thank you. Good evening again, everyone, and all those online. So, yes, I'm Lisa Gaylett Perrier, and I play Jessica Turnbull in the play Breaking Point. I worship with the members of the Jerusalem Independent Baptist Church.
Thank you. Yes, I've seen Mrs. Spence. Your time.
Good evening, everybody. Are you hearing me?
Yeah, ma'am, we can hear you.
Okay, so my name is Kelsey Rayner Spence. I play the role of Sandy, and I currently go to Johnson Gospel Chapel.
Right. Next. Alexia.
Welcome. I have a call name, because I guess your lineup is different from
Different
how
from
we
her.
see it.
That is true. So since you have the floor, go ahead.
Okay. My name is Omar Tomlinson. We are worship boys at I currently serve at Lenox View Baptist Church and also assist at within the Hebron circuit at the Jamaica Baptist Union that consists of three churches. Lenox View is independent Baptist, however. And I play Reverend Dr. Joshua Sr. Yeah.
And you know why he's laughing. Maybe not tonight. Maybe we give a little teaser as to why he's laughing. But of course, you have to come out on the 20th to see exactly why he's laughing. But I tell you, I don't know if you're going to laugh or cry still when you meet the guy. But we will see. All right. Mrs. Samuels Esson in the middle for my screen. Go ahead. Turn on your mic, Lundy.
You're not hearing me?
I hear you now. Good.
Okay, good night, everyone. I am Landy K. Samuels Esson. I play the role of Sister Myrtle in the play The Breaking Point, and I worship with the people of the Cheltenham Baptist Church located in New Market, St. Elizabeth.
All right, good stuff. And Madame Llewellyn.
Hi, good night, everyone. I hope you're hearing me clearly. Okay, so I'm Alexia Llewellyn. I worship at the Black River Independent Baptist Church in St. Elizabeth, and I play the role of Shanice in the play, The Breaking Point.
All right, good, good, good. And I must apologize for the absence of some of our other cast members. Some persons have work, some persons have other obligations at this time, so they're unable to make it. But we want to shout them out just the same. We have Deidre Holland, who was actually here. I'm not sure what happened. And she's also playing the role of Jessica Turnbull. You know how production is, so sometimes we have to have more than one individuals playing a particular role. So hopefully she'll be joining us again. She's also playing the role of Jessica Turnbull. We have Deandra Brown, who is playing the role of Rachel. We have Desiree Brown, who is playing the role of the doctor, Dr. James. And am I leaving anybody out? We also have Brother Orville Pereira, Lisa Gay's husband, who is also a part of the cast. And we also have some other, what we call extras. You know, there are no small parts, only small actors, they say. So even though they're not playing a vocal role per se in the production, they are just as important. So we want to big them up also. All right. So we're gonna get straight into the discussion. We have met the cast for those persons. I heard online that there's a little bit of a confusion about what's happening tonight. Some persons thought we were actually going to show the play tonight as a movie or something of the sort. Oh, but that's not what's happening tonight. Tonight we're just talking as friends, as believers, as a family about this play. What is it about and how they feel about it. So I'm just gonna be picking their brain. All right. So I would just like each person to just describe their character in 3 words. So let's go in the order that we did for the introduction. So starting with Lisa, then Kelsey, then we go to Omar, then we go to Landy, and then we go to Alexia.
Okay, so the character Jessica Turnbull, 3 words that describe her. Consistent, professional, and oh, I don't want to be too mean, but professional and also concerning. Yes.
I think they got all of that from the program when you were talking in the car. Yeah. I heard a lot of people say that's their favorite part, so they want to see what that is about. All right, Kelsey, how would you describe Sandy?
Nadir. Oh, describe her. She kind of sad. Like the part that she played, it kind of turned out sad. She's an influencer. Another word, I don't know. I don't know.
Come on, you must find one more word. And that is so on brand, by the way. Sandy would have answered exactly like that, eh?
Let me say secretive.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Mhm.
Yeah, yeah. Rev, what do you say?
Well, I would say he is focused,
Mhm.
unstable, and I suppose I could say pitiful.
Well, interesting. Yes, I like those 3 words. Pitiful also. And I think people will argue for that last word, but I'm glad you mentioned it. Yes. All right, Landy, what do you say? Your mic is on, Landy? All right, so we're gonna jump back to Landy. She's having some challenges with her internet. She told me about this earlier. So when she jumps back, we'll go back to her. Alexia?
Okay, so I would describe my character, Shanice, as a hopeless romantic, for one. I think she's a bit naive and most importantly, very inquisitive. Love people business.
All right. So Deidre is back with us. Deidre, from your perspective. So we're explaining to the audience earlier that we have productions, we have to have people splitting up and playing dual roles because some persons are absent, some persons will have to fill in. So from your perspective, Deidre, what would you describe in 3 words? How would you describe Mrs. Turnbull, the role that you play as well? And then I'll go back to Landy.
Okay, good night, everyone. Apologies for my camera not being on. Sincerely apologize. But for my role, I would say, just as I am, Mrs. Turnbull is a very busy person. She pops in, she pops out. I'd say professional as well, and a bit sassy. So those are my 3 words.
All right, good. Landy K, can we hear from you now?
You hearing me now?
Loud and
You
clear,
guys
Landy.
hearing me clear? Okay. I would say Sister Myrtle now. She's a very secretive person, good individual, willing to do anything, and also you have an obedient one as well. So those are 3 words that I would use to describe Sister Myrtle.
Myrtle secretive, tell me why you say Myrtle secretive. You really do?
Because she know things, she knows some stuff, and she just keeps herself.
I agree. And there's even a line in the play where she speaks about that, the whole history of silence also. All right, so now guys, it's not lost on us that this play is different from probably any other play that you've done. It's a fun play. It has a very good message, but it also kind of serious. All right, without giving away too much, how did all of you feel when you were assigned the roles that you were given? Because for some of you, especially for example, like a Sandy, there's a day and night between the role she played in the last play, which was Tiny, and Sandy is a total different person or has a totally different personality. So when you guys took up the script and you saw the roles that were assigned to you, how did you feel? And I want you to be honest. Did you like it? Did you have second thoughts? How did you feel? So anybody can jump in at this time. So I'm not going in any particular order. So who wants to jump?
I would like to start first.
Go ahead, Alexia.
All right, because honestly, I felt very strongly about this role because I think it was such a jump. I really liked my role in the last play, The Glass House. Janet was such a vibe. I really enjoyed playing Janet, very sassy, very fun, all about her money, And when I first read the play, I was like, this is not safe. Why really I do this? Like, but doesn't really feel the vibes from Shanice. She just never did that.
Just
And then I had
quiet.
so many, and then I had so many questions, like when you're watching something or you're reading something and you feel like there's a lot of background story and information. So I wasn't really feeling her. I think that I was really hung up on the last play. I was really, very much in my feelings, missing Janet, comparing, But, as time went on and we saw the play in its entirety, everything just started to make sense. And as you say, there are no small roles. So, yeah.
Yeah. And then if I may just interject here, Janet, may I always call Janet. What it does is that it actually stretches you as a character, So I knew based on seeing you perform even outside of our place, seeing you at concerts, rallies, performing at invitation, etc. I knew you could handle it. So there are some persons who you typecast that can only play one set character. You know what I mean? But it shows that, I mean, hey, you're talented, you're versatile. I know you could manage a Janet role, and I know you can manage the complete opposite. So see, it just works itself out. Yeah, so it works, it works. All right, anybody else? How did you feel when you got your role?
Well, I would say I I wanted to perhaps try and play a different role. Um, but it's because the last role I play of Deacon Gospel, now I'm playing Pastor, Reverend Doctor. They're kind of similar in terms of church leadership. But when I read through the script though, I realized that the characters are they are similar in one respect in terms of their dedication towards service with Christ, but their demeanor, for the most part, is different. I know with Deacon Glasspool, there was that kind of rigid moment when he and not Janet, the other daughter,
Yeah,
was Jada,
yes,
had a kickoff there, and he sounded kind of cold at that point, but that was just like a one moment. For the most part, he usually was a mellow guy. With Pastor Reverend Doctor No, this man kind of have a cold heart that I found hard to kind of
step into.
get into because it, in I guess generally as a person I'm kind of like the laid back deacon thing, but this one kind of asked me to go kind of dark. um yeah.
Yeah. Okay, good stuff. Lisa, Landy, Deidre, Kelsey, how did you feel when you got your role?
All right. So for me, I was happy that I wasn't the matriarch this time, as with Mrs. Glasspool, and I was also pleased that my role as Mrs. Turnbull wasn't so critical, as in all the load of the play, as it's very deep, it's very emotional, and almost felt close to home. So not being in all of the center of what was happening was was refreshing for me to still be a part of the play, to still be a part of the ministry, because this really is a ministry, to be a part of the ministry, and then to realize that, okay, so the role is not so heavy. You don't have to get too emotional with all that's happening, and I can still get to give my much and give the support to the cast.
Wonderful. Good. So seeing that Deidre also has that role, let me just go to you, Deidre. From your perspective, when you got this role, how did you feel? Because I must admit, Deidre, it's quite a lot of lines, and you're
No.
quite busy.
Um,
You figure this one out.
I figured, well, at first receiving this position, this role, I felt as if, all right, this is something that I can do. All right, so I looked at the play outline first from my character, and then afterwards I read everyone else's. And then I realized what a piece of setup. But guess what? You guys have to come out and watch the play to know where that setup comes in. However, I share the same sentiment as Sister Let's Perrier. It's it's a less demanding role. However, it's a key role. It puts some pieces together. So I'm happy to be playing that role. And yeah, the character, as I said, the character fits me, a busy bee, a sassy girl, all the vibe. So yeah.
Yeah, and it's funny that you use the word setup, hint, hint, but you have to come to see what exactly we're talking about. Very good. Interesting choice of words there. Yes. All right. So Kelsey, how did you feel? And then I'll go to Landy.
All right, so since we're all comparing our last roles to this one, I must say this role is way softer than Tiny. When I need a pasta face this time, come on more calm and express myself calmer and stuff. So when I got this role, I was like, yeah, I can do this. Tiny is an influencer. I'm a upcoming influencer, yeah. So I was really pleased with this role. I'm happy with it. And yeah, as you just said, come out on June 20 to see what's what.
All right. What's going to be tea, as the young people say. All right. So Landy, Sister Myrtle. And I think Landy was the first
Well,
to learn all of her lines. How did you feel about getting that role, Sister Myrtle?
well. When I got the information and realized that this role will be my role, I'm like, okay. I got a little bit nervous. And I'm like, okay, I can do this because it's kind of me, but it's kind of not me. So I'm like, okay, I got to do this. I just got to work on it. So, see me here. Wanna come and see what's going on the 20th of June, of course, to know what's what. And you guys will definitely be surprised.
Good. And just so as just piggybacking on what Landy K said, just reminding everybody that the first run of this play is Saturday, June 20. We have like a week left or 2 weeks, something like that. Yeah, it's right around the corner. And it's going to be at Newtown Independent Baptist Church, that's in Clarendon. We do have plans of making the show do some rounds. We're not going to every parish, although we'd love to. But we have busy people here, so we're hoping to hit Kingston, St. Catherine, St. James, and ultimately to culminate everything at St. Elizabeth. All right, so you get a chance to see this very interesting play. That's all I'm going to say. I'm tempted to tell you what the play is about, but we're not going to. We're going to ask you guys to read between the lines of the discussion, piece together things, and then give yourself a little homework. Try to guess what the play is about, and when you actually watch the play on the 20th, see if it is that your predictions were accurate. All right. So just throwing these questions out again. Who would you say is the character that is most misunderstood? And which character would you avoid in real life? So let's get into the heart of it. Again, I remind Makas, please not give away too much information here. But let us see if you're all agreeing on the same thing. So which character you think is most misunderstood? That's the first one. And if you had to avoid one of the characters, even though we're supposed to be living in love, but if you had to personally avoid one, you actually entered, you were a part of a church with these persons or a community with these persons, who would you avoid? Landy, you want to start?
Yes. Well, for me, the character that is most misunderstood would be Madame Rachel, of course. I think that she would be the one that is misunderstood the most at hand. And also, the one that I would definitely avoid is Pastor Senior.
It's quite interesting because I think that's exactly what you're doing to play too. But yeah, interesting. Do you guys agree
No.
or is there somebody else that you would say that you
Well,
avoid? Why say Omar?
I think Pastor Senior is misunderstood. I mean, based on the backstory given for him, I can see where he's coming from. The necessity to have an image and to focus on a certain, look and status setup kind of thing would have come about, challenging growing up, so kind of grow rough. I think, however, his interaction between him and his wife can be misunderstood. I don't think, see, I'm trying to choose the words without giving too much.
Yeah.
I would believe that he loved his wife, but somewhere, somehow, some wires got crossed. And I think even he himself would have misunderstood himself. Hence, things ended the way they ended.
Okay. So question though. So when you say misunderstood, I get what you mean. Is he justified though in some of the things that he did because especially of the backstory? Because I believe you, he's misunderstood, but does it just
No, I would say, because if we are going to come at it from the Christian perspective, he would have no justification. However, I guess you can kind of understand why certain things are certain things, but from God's standpoint, he would not be justified.
All right, good. Come out, everybody, June 20. I hope you guys catching the vibe, all right? Anybody else? Who would you avoid or who is most?
Oh, who would I avoid? Oh, I'd probably avoid the pastor too.
Or pastor?
Because
Confused me.
Pastor.
yeah, but yeah. In one, as I said, when I described him, in one way you feel pity for him, but then yeah.
All right, anybody else wants to jump in on that one?
I would like to jump in.
Go ahead, Alexa.
I agree with Landike. I think that Rachel was definitely, well, for me, I think that she was misunderstood, not just by the pastor, but by the church members as well. I think that she was misunderstood in a sad way. The person I would definitely avoid, I think that I would avoid Sister Myrtle. I would avoid Sister Myrtle. All right, based on her, I don't want to give too much away, but based on her character, as a young person, I just feel like Sister Myrtle is just a little bit too much. She can tone it down. She can tone it down a little bit. Yeah, she too much.
Who would be the best person to give guidance to a young person?
No.
All right, good.
I agree with Alexia,
Yeah.
especially with the Sister Myrtle, who I would avoid. That's that lick the what you say, lick the nail and lick the hammer and the nail. Yeah, that's it for me. I would avoid.
You'd avoid Sister Myrtle. All right.
Mix up.
Anybody else?
Would I avoid Myrtle too?
You'd avoid Myrtle.
Just I go tell you all of your deeds and just cut like, no, girl. Stay with me. I will cry.
Myrtle is quite a character, and I really think the audience is going to love. They're going to probably have a love-hate relationship with Myrtle. Probably love her and then hate her at one point and then love her again. Who knows, right?
Yeah,
And
that's true.
yeah,
That's true.
speaking of that, every time when we have drama, there's supposed to be like what we call a character arc, right? Or there's supposed to be some form of growth. Is there any character that you see experiencing growth? Would you say all the characters grow at some point, or do you see any form of growth amongst any of the characters? Sister Lex Ferrer. Growth.
Growth. I think for Sister Myrtle, there was no growth. She was already set in her way. Her mood fluctuated. which is why on the 20th, the audience will love her at some point and then just be annoyed at her.
Annoying, you know?
Yeah, Shanice. I didn't see any growth for Shanice. She just seemed like she was just in her safe space.
Right.
Everyone else seemed to have had some moment of growth, though. Yes, by the end of the play, everyone ended having some moment of growth.
Okay. All right. So, guys, as we wrap up, because we don't want to keep it too long, because we just want to tease people so that they get to come to the play. I'd just like you guys to share with me some themes and some lessons that you got from the play, again, without giving too much information. And my first question is, how would you say this message, this play resonates with you personally? That's the first question. And then the other one I'll say is, why do you think the story is important? Because I like the fact that Sister Lex said that it is a ministry. It's not just about entertainment, but at the end of the day, of course, these plays have to have a message. And one thing I like about the gospel is that you don't necessarily have to be around a pulpit to deliver the gospel. It can come in so many different forms. And I think our association is latching on to that, using the creative arts to get these messages across. So again, what is one message from the play that resonates with you personally? And also, why do you think this story is important?
All right, can I go ahead?
Are you here? Because we're wrapping up.
Yes. So, listen, forgiveness and healing is important. And in the same way, it goes to the other question, because forgiveness and healing is important. The play really helps to cement that by seeing the situations and understanding a lot of the situations, even if not personally. It may be something you have heard or seen. And it really shows that forgiveness and healing is important and intentional. So, especially with healing, it has to be really intentional, that you seek to forgive and you seek healing for yourself and for others.
Good point. Anybody else? Not going in any particular order, but everybody has to answer that question. So the question is, what is one message that the play, from the play, that resonates with you personally? And why do you think the story is important? You want to jump in here, Alex?
Well,
okay, go ahead, Omar.
yeah. For me, the idea of, well, being attentive, irrespective of what it is you have to do. Just try to be aware, show some care. Because the truth is, those around you, you never know when, circumstances might change in a drastic way. And you don't want to have regrets, things that you could have done you didn't do. Or, and then also in terms of, just integrity and trying to be consistent, whether at home or abroad, you never know. Things in the closet have a way of falling out when you least expect them to. Yeah. And the other one was growth.
Yeah.
I think Reverend Senior would have had some growth. Maybe like a part 2 would explore how much that growth would be.
You can write down. Well, that's a good idea, I guess, yeah.
But there is some growth there. Definitely not one of those, I guess one of those bittersweet ending kind of thing. Because whereas he was able to sort out one particular area, but another area was left hanging, basically. never get the chance to saw it, you know? So, hence I'm saying, you know, you got to check yourself and how you live.
Yep.
Yeah.
Come on, thank you, bro. Alexa?
Yes. So, I think that for me personally, what I took from the play was the importance of respecting others. We don't know what persons are going through. Persons are going through so many different challenges, and I think it's important to not take persons at face value, right? Because people are going through so much that we can't even fathom or begin to understand, right? And I think that the play really highlights the importance as a community, not just a church community, but of supporting each other, the importance of supporting each other. I don't think that you need to know what people are going through in order to offer your support. So supporting each other is a very key theme. And I think that humility as well. I think that it doesn't pay a lot to be humble, to humble yourself. And I think if a lot of us had more humility, if a lot of us had more humility, it would just make the world a better place. I think that we would find more persons entering the church, and I think that a lot of us would grow, right? So I think the play has some really interesting themes, and just being humble is one of them.
Very good. Thank you, Alexa, taking us there to literature class. But I mean, all fun and jokes aside, very good point. Especially the point about not necessarily knowing what people are. I think you say you don't have to know exactly what persons are going through to be empathetic, especially in our church communities per se. You know, it's easy for us to say, "Oh, I'm okay, I'm blessed and highly favored," but sometimes there are things deep down inside. Again, as Omar would have alluded to, that people are hiding inside, and if it is that they're not dealt with properly, it can lead to them reaching a breaking point. Yeah, very good, Alexa. Thank you. Idri, then Landy, and then Kelsey.
Alright, so one of the main things for me was forgiveness. Forgiveness, especially because, when you own up to forgiveness and accountability, when you own up to what is happening and what's going on, then you're allowing yourself to be vulnerable to a true healing and transformation and a restoration process. But it all starts within, like it starts with you. And I see that being portrayed throughout the play, that it doesn't matter what's happening around you, but you have to focus on yourself and make sure that you are okay. And and that's something I resonate well with as it relates to knowing your heart, knowing what you stand for and what you're about. Even when the world is crucifying you, it's between you and your God. Another thing for me, I would say, is, as Alexia mentioned just now, you never know what a person is going through. So a lot of families, a lot of church members, a lot of communities, there's some individuals that will look down on other members or create a stigma towards other members. And that's why me can't deal with Sister Myrtle, but and I have to come out to see what that's about. As it relates to that though, you never know what's happening in a person's life until they tell you, if they even do tell you what's happening. So approach everyone with some form of kindness, approach every situation, and just being a kind person makes such a big difference. A smile can literally brighten someone's day. And being a nurse, I can testify to that.
Good stuff, Deidre. I like what you said at the first part, where you're alluding to the whole idea of introspection. It's very
Yeah.
easy for us to kind of turn the searchlight on everybody, point out everybody's flaws, Sister Myrtle, point out everybody's flaws, negate to turn the searchlight on yourself to look within and to ask the Lord to help you, to show you, to help you to see your own flaws. And so sometimes that can also lead to destruction. So also very important to look within, to focus on yourself and start the healing work inside. Very good. Thank you, Deidre. Very good. Who did I say was next? Sister Myrtle? Everybody come for you tonight. Go ahead.
Why?
But she got
Everybody
it
doesn't like
off.
case tonight for Sister Myrtle case.
Rough man.
It's just the play.
Well, what I have learned from the play is don't be too quick to jump to conclusion because you don't know what an individual is going through or what is going on in the background of their lives.
Yeah.
And that it doesn't matter what you do or who you are, we all need forgiveness to move on, to carry on, and to grow with the Lord, of course. So for me, I would say stay connected, stay focused, and keep working because God got you. Yeah. That's the main thing that I have to say. Just keep going because God got you.
Well done. Well said, Landy. Yeah, that sounds like it came from Landy, not Sister Murphy. I don't know if she would have said that. All right, good. Very good, Landy. Thank you. And Kelsey.
Definitely from Landy.
Yeah. Yeah, go ahead, Kelsey.
Okay, so one thing that stuck with me from the play, especially from my role, is the fact that Sandy was hurt. Sandy was experiencing hurt from a very young age, from a very long time. And what I liked about how she handled it is that she handled it with grace. She didn't burst out and just cursing everybody or cursing the person that hurt her. She handled it with grace. And one thing that is important from the play is that whatever you do in the dark will come to the light.
I saw the date. Yeah, man. Yes, what's in the dark will come to the light. Yes. And we are going to leave it right there. But before I dismiss, me in a teacher mode, before I send you guys home, I'm not able to see YouTube. I don't know if you guys can, but can anybody just check if there are any comments or questions that the audience may probably have for us? If not, it's just for me to thank the cast, and you guys will see
Okay,
my
there.
Is it questions?
Yes, there's some comments and stuff.
Okay, is there any questions? Any or just general comments?
No, this general persons shouting out to all of us.
Oh, wonderful.
Yes, and just applauding you for the play. Yeah, no question, but yes, so we have a lot of persons reaching out to almost everyone on the cast, so but no questions. But we appreciate you all. Thank you for joining us on YouTube.
Yeah.
Let me just add, I don't think there are any questions because everyone is going to show up on the 20th to watch the play and see what happens.
What happens? So we're not going to give away too much, even if they ask the questions. Good point, Deidre. I didn't think about that. Yeah, they have to come and see what exactly happens. It's just for me to thank you guys, and I hope you guys have fallen in love with this group of people as I have. That's why I keep working with them. Some of them I would have seen their talents outside of working with them directly. A lot of them, obviously, it stands to reason because they're in my church, so I would have had direct access to them, talking about people like Deidre, people like Kelsey, people like Lisa Gay. So I know what they're made of, but there are others that I've seen at conferences, at camps, at different events, and their talents have really, their talent really stood out, So when I see Landy K leading praise and worship, and I see Omar leading quiz and leading drama at camp and all of that, and I see Alexia doing her dog poetry, I recognize that it's very important for us to pool the resources, so to speak, and put on these productions that can not just entertain, but change lives and minister to people. And that's exactly what we seek to do. So I want to thank you, cast. I appreciate the effort that you guys have put in. Guys, it's kind of difficult this time around because there are several life changes that have happened this time around, you know, who married and who this and who that. So it was difficult to kind of get everybody together, but they stuck with it, you know, and they're trying to work as best as possible. Yeah, they're trying to work as best as possible to see how it is that we can put on this production for you. So I want to thank all of you wholeheartedly. I love working with you, and I know we're a little nervous because the 20th is our first run at it, but of course we're going to pray, we're going to fast, and we're going to go into it full force so that we can do exceptionally well. Thank you very much, everybody. God bless you, and stay tuned for more updates as it relates to the breaking point. All right? Bye, everybody.
Peace out.
So, peace out.